Hello my dear students, I am Om Prakash, lecturer in the Department of English, Shakthi PU College, Shakthi Nagara. In today's class, we are going to discuss about job application as well as resume writing. So in second PUC, in English syllabus, it is one of the most important topics which carry 5 marks, and this particular one, job application, so it's very useful even in our day-to-day life. So if you are going to apply for a job, you have to impress your employer by writing a very impressive job application. So we are going to learn how exactly we are supposed to write a job application along with the resume, and that we are going to discuss in today's class. And as you know, that job application has to be very precise and very impressive, so that the employer is going to appoint you to the job, and by looking at your resume, he should feel that this particular person can be taken into this particular job. So that way we have to write a job application, and when we are going to write a neat job application, we are definitely going to be selected, and at the same time in the examination it will fetch you good marks. So now let us go about how exactly we can study this. Job application and resume, there are certain steps that we have to follow when we are going to write a job application. So firstly, we are going to write the covering letter. So there are certain steps that we have to follow to write a covering letter. Coming to here, so the first thing that we have to do is we have to write the sender's address. So writing sender's address is very important, that who is going to send, his exact address with all the details, that is very necessary. But here we have to keep in mind that we are writing the board examination. That's why we are not supposed to reveal our identity. So that is the reason why we have to write our address in a particular manner. So we have to write XXX for our name and YYY for our address. We are writing XXX and YYY, XXX as the name of the sender and YYY as an address. So the reason why we are using this, as I already mentioned, not to disclose our identity in the board examination. Otherwise, we are supposed to write our address in the sense, the first we have to write our proper name and also the address and the place where we belong to and the postal address, everything has to be written. But since we are following this particular method, and especially this has to be written in the examination, since we are not supposed to disclose our identity, we have to write these things as names. Okay, so for name we have to write XXX and YYY for address. Then comes the date. So how are we supposed to write date? So here you might get a question that we were writing from and to before writing any letter, or in the first place we had to write to, and now this is the new format in which we are not supposed to write to or from, and we are supposed to come directly to the sender's address. So the first address that we write, it is considered to be the sender's address. Here we do not have to get confused in the sense, in this particular format it is considered that the first address will always be that of the sender. And the next thing that we are supposed to write is date. So earlier we used to write the date in one of the corners. So but in this particular way, in this particular method, we are not going to write it in any of the corners, but we are writing it after the sender's address. Here we are supposed to write the date in a particular manner. So this is how it is. In the beginning, we are supposed to write the date. For example, it is 08 is the date. Then it is October 2022. So this is the manner in which we are supposed to write the date. Then we have to write the receiver's address. The receiver here will be the employer. The employer's address will be given in the question itself. So we have to look at the address properly, and then we have to follow, and we have to write the same address without any errors. Then comes the salutation part. So there we are supposed to write either respected sir or dear sir. So since we are sending it to certain people, especially the employers whom we really do not know, so that's why to write respected sir is better. So after writing respected sir or dear sir, we are not supposed to use any punctuation marks, especially comma. And after writing salutation, we are supposed to write the subject. So we have to write the subject, and in front of which we have to write an application for the post of whatever. Okay, whatever the post that we are going to apply for, so that we have to mention when it comes to subject. And then the reference we have to write. Here the reference means from whom exactly we came to know about this particular job. So most of the times it would be from certain newspapers. So we have to write your advertisement published in the newspaper title. We have to write dated on dash dash dash, whatever the date it was published on. Then comes the most important part, that is the body of the letter. So then we are supposed to write the body of the letter, which contains the details. So there you are going to mention that you are applying for this particular post, and also you are qualified to apply for that post. So that we have to write elaborately. And after that, the next step is the complimentary closure. Then we are going to put a signature, and after which we have to mention this enclosure, where we have to mention the resume as well as other marks card we are going to attach with this particular covering letter. And these are the steps that we have to follow when we are writing the covering letter for the job application. And then there is a note here that you have to leave one line gap after each step. So this is very important. After every step, we are supposed to leave one line, and then we are going to make it very impressive. Here we have a question on job application. Let us look at it. Write a job application in response to the following advertisement, which appeared in the Deccan Herald newspaper, dated on 8/10/2022. Here, the company named Health Tech Pharmaceutical Limited. So they have published their advertisement where they require a lab assistant. So we are going to write a job application to the same. So the qualification that they need is BSc with computer knowledge. So you are going to apply for this particular job, that is lab assistance job we are going to apply for, and for which the qualification is BSc with computer knowledge, and the experience that they require 3 years experience as a lab assistant. So this is the question we are going to deal with right now, and we are going to write a job application. First we are going to write the covering letter, and after that we are going to write a resume, and let us do it. Here we should notice that they have asked us to apply within 7 days after the appearance of this particular advertisement, and we have to apply to this particular address. The HR manager, Health Tech Pharmaceuticals Limited, 202 KV Road, Mangalore 560013. So this is the address to which we have to write a covering letter as well as the resume. So that is how we are going to write one job application. So now we are going to write the job application to this particular advertisement. Now let us begin writing a covering letter. First we have to draw one margin. Let us imagine this is the margin. So when we are going to start our letter, the covering letter, it should start immediate to the margin. Okay, it should start immediate from the margin, and we have to write the sender's address first. The first step to follow is to write the sender's address. So we are going to write it. So immediate to the margin, we have to write the sender's name. So since we are not disclosing our name in the public examination, we are supposed to write XXX for name, and also YYY for the sender's address. So this is the address and this is the name. So this is the first step that we have to follow. First we have to write the name and then the address. So then we are supposed to leave one line. So imagine this is a line, and we are supposed to leave one particular line after each step we follow. First sender's name and address is written, and after that we have to leave a line, and then we have to write the date. So date should be written in this particular format. Here, this is the format in which we have to write the date. We are not supposed to use any comma or even the full stop when we are following this particular format. So this is the way in which we have to write the address. Then we have to leave one more line. Now we are going to write the receiver's address. Here you can see the receiver's address being written. The HR manager, Health Tech Pharmaceutical Limited, 202 KV Road, Bangalore 560013. So this is the receiver's address or the address of the employer. So that has been written now. So the first we have to write the sender's name and address, and then we have to write the date after leaving a line. Then we have to write the receiver's address or the address of the employer. So that has been written now. So now next step that we are going to follow, then comes the salutation part. So here we are supposed to write respected sir / madam, because here we really do not know whether the employer is a male or female. So that's why we have to use a slash between sir and madam. We have to use sir and madam both. So if you are very sure the employer is a male, then you can just write sir, that is enough, or madam. So here after leaving a line, we have written this respected sir. This is quite immediate to the margin, you can see. So respected sir or madam. So this is the salutation part. And here again we are not supposed to use any punctuation mark, either comma or full stop. Then again we have to leave a line. Then we have to write the subject. So the subject is written here, and after that we are going to mention what is the subject. So this is an application for the post of a lab assistant. So this is what we have to make very sure when writing the subject. So they at one glance should be knowing what exactly is the post to which this particular person is applying and what this particular letter is about. So it should be very, very visible and clear that the subject is mentioning the application for the post of lab assistant, and after which we are supposed to write the reference. So here reference means how exactly you came to know about this particular job. So here it is mentioned the advertisement appeared in the Deccan Herald dated 8/10/2022. So this is how we have to write the reference. So here when you are writing this particular reference, so or subject for that matter, we should not write anything, we should not continue below this particular reference, whatever it is written. So we have to leave the space, and from here we have to continue, and so that it actually looks very impressive. So that is the reason we have to continue in this particular manner. So you have to write properly the advertisement appeared in the Deccan Herald dated 8/10/2022. So this is how we have to mention the reference, and after that again we have to leave a line. So here we are supposed to leave one more line, and then we have to start the body of the letter. So now we come to the crux of the matter here, the body of the letter. So here we are mentioning what is the post we are applying for, and the qualification, everything we have to mention. So here you can read it this way: in response to the advertisement above, I wish to apply for the above said post in your company. I have the necessary qualification and experience required for the post. I have enclosed my resume with this application for your information and consideration. I assure you of my sincere and devoted services if appointed to the post. So this much, this body of the body of the letter is very much enough, because we are going to give the extra details like academic details and the experience and other information that whatever they are they require. So all those are actually mentioned in the resume. That's why we don't have to mention anything other than this. So we have to tell we have enough qualification to apply for this particular post, and that is what we are doing. So here in the body of the letter we are writing that particular thing, and the rest of the matter we are going to include in the resume. So after this again you have to leave a line. Yes, so we have to leave a line, and then this is how we are closing it. We have to mention thank you. Again it is opposite to the it is very next to the margin. So this is very important. We are not supposed to write thank you here or even on the right side. Okay, so it is on the left side and very immediate to the margin. And again after thank you we have to leave one more line, and then you have to write your confident or yours faithfully or yours sincerely. Those things you can write. So here I have written you are confident, and then you are in the next line, very next line, you are not supposed to leave any line. So after writing you are confident or yours faithfully or yours sincerely, you have again we are not supposed to put any comma here. So you have to notice, so no comma, no extra commas or full stop is being used. So in this particular format. Okay, so you are confident, and after that the signature here, and in the bracket we have to write the sender's name. So here we should be very careful, because there are chances we might forget that we have put XXX as sender's name. So here we might end up writing our own name. So that should not happen. So that's why we should be very careful. The signature as well as the name that is going to be mentioned, it is of the same sender. So here, since we are not supposed to disclose our actual name, so we are going to put this particular name. So this is how it ends. And after this, again, we are supposed to leave a line. Imagine there is a line, so we are going to leave a line, and after which we are going to write ENCL, which means enclosed. So the enclosure, whatever we are going to attach with this particular covering letter, so there we have mentioned that resume. So the resume is being attached to this particular covering letter. The very next page will be the resume. So we are going to look at next how we are going to write resume and the steps to follow. But now it should be clear. So this is how we are supposed to write a job application. First, it starts with the sender's name and address, and then we have to leave a line, then we have to write a date, and then again we are supposed to leave a line, then we have to write the sender's address, the receiver's address, which means the employer's address, and after that we are supposed to write the salutation that is written in this particular format, respected sir or madam. Then again we are supposed to leave a line, then subject you have to mention, then the reference, and after which we have to leave one more line, then we have to write the body of the letter, and it continues. And again, once you stop writing the body of the letter and we have to leave a line, then we have to write thank you, then we are supposed to leave one more line, then you have to mention you're confident or yours sincerely, then you have to put your signature, and in the bracket the name should be written, and then you have to leave one more line, and then ENCL enclosed, there you have to write resume, which is attached to this particular covering letter. So this is all about writing a covering letter. The next thing that we are going to learn is how to write a resume. About writing a resume, we are going to discuss it in the next class. Till then, take care, bye bye, thank you so much.